Searching for academic literature can sometimes be a challenge. You're looking around online, wondering what's relevant and what's not. Hours go by and you are getting increasingly frustrated. Don't worry, because by the end of this video, you will be able to do an initial literature search that will take less than 5 minutes. I'm going to share with you 3 top tips for finding valid, relevant items to use in essays, presentations, dissertations, and other assignments. Firstly, noun spotting. Secondly, not just Googling it. And thirdly, advanced search. I'm Dr. Elizabeth Yardley, and for the last 20 years, I've been working in UK universities teaching sociology, criminology, and social policy. I have learned some great little tips and hacks along the way, and I'm sharing them with you through this channel. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my videos. As I said a moment ago, there are 3 tips that we'll be learning about in this video. Firstly, spotting the nouns. Secondly, not just Googling it. And thirdly, advanced search. Let's dive straight in with tip number 1, spot the nouns. Take the question or title of the assignment that you're working on or your dissertation and pick out the nouns, the words and terms that represent people, places, or things. For example, let's take a look at this assignment title. Critically consider the role of social media platforms in boosting employability among graduates. The nouns in this assignment title are social media platforms, employability, and graduates. You can use these words as search terms, and the best way to search for literature is Google Scholar, which we'll take a look at now in tip number 2. Don't just Google it, Google Scholar it. Use Google Scholar when you're searching for literature rather than general Google. Google Scholar is way more likely to return books, papers, and articles that are written by academics rather than random people on the internet. The things you'll find when you search Google Scholar are also highly likely to have been peer-reviewed. This basically means that other academics have scrutinized these pieces of work to make sure that they're accurate and useful, and they've made suggestions as to how they can be improved before they're published. It's kind of like the academic version of quality control. If it's been peer-reviewed, it's considered scholarly and academically valid. If it hasn't, it isn't quite so solid. The stuff that you find through a general Google search is much less likely to have been peer-reviewed, so for the most part, avoid it. Anyone can put anything up on the internet, especially on sites like Wikipedia. So if you stick to sources from Google Scholar, you are much less likely to receive that dreaded feedback. Your sources were not academically valid. Now let's take a look at how you can search for those nouns from our example assignment in Google Scholar. Now let's see if we can find any pieces of academic literature that have got all of our search terms in them. Wouldn't it be great if there was a book or a journal article or a report that has all 3 of those words in it, because that would be super relevant for our assignment. So let's try that right now. In the search bar, type in social media platforms and employability and graduates. What comes back? A lot of results. So how do you narrow this down? Advanced search, which you guessed it, I'm covering in the next tip. Supercharge your Google Scholar search using the advanced search function. When you have a big long list of search results on the screen, go to the 3 lines, or the burger, as some people call it, in the top left of the screen and select Advanced Search from the menu. This little box will pop up. The first thing you should try is going to Where My Words Occur and selecting in the title of the article. This will return items that mention all of your search terms in the title. Let's give that a go. And nothing comes back. We've been way too specific here, so we need to go a little bit broader. But we still want to use this in the title of the article button. We're not ready to give up on it yet. What we can do here is start to play around with the words a little. What other exact search terms might we be able to use, which essentially mean the same thing? Okay, so currently we've got employability and graduates as separate words. Why don't we try and combine them into graduate employability and give that a go? What we might also want to do is get rid of platforms off the end of social media platforms, because not everybody says platforms on the end anymore, do they? They just say social media. What happens when we type this into the box instead? Graduate employability and social media. We're going to keep that button in the title of the article selected and just see what comes back. Okay, so we have a much smaller number of results here, and they all look relevant for our assignment, don't they? So we are off to a really good start here. We can download these, read them, make some notes, and begin to use them to help develop our assignment. We have gone from tens of thousands of search results down to less than 10. So advanced search is a great way of getting really specific really quickly in your literature searches. Have a play around with advanced search and the other things that you're able to select. You can specify particular authors, and that's something you might want to do next, because in this example, the same author name, Kay Sutherland, has come up quite a few times. They might have written other articles or books that focus on this topic, and we would certainly want to check those out. You can search by a range of publication dates too to narrow it down further, and by the place the piece of literature was published. I have a free one-page PDF guide on the advanced search function, which is available in my free student resource zone. So I will link to that in the description. Give advanced search a go, because the less time you spend trawling Google Scholar for literature, the more time you can spend writing your assignments and ensuring that they're sufficiently critical and analytical. And that's it. Those are my 3 top tips for boosting your literature searches. Spot the nouns to use as search terms, use Google Scholar, and use advanced search. For quick, straightforward, easy to implement advice and tips to supercharge your studies and boost your grades, subscribe to my weekly emails. I will pop the link for that in the description too.